Hello everyone. Many of students have said me to provide the civil engineering strength of materials video again. So after many days I'm starting this. Today we'll start stress in beams. It's a very interesting topic in the strength of materials. From this chapter today we'll learn proof of bending equation. Okay. Before knowing the proof of bending equation, let us know the basic concept. How are the stress in beams acting? Suppose this is a beam. This is any portion of the beam. Okay, this beam is bent sagging wise. So what happens if the beam is bent sagging wise? Then you can see there is a bottom portion, there is a top portion. In the bottom portion, the element get stressed. Suppose if I consider any element here, so this element get stressed, that is element are in tension. And in the top portion, the element gets compressed, that means elements are in compression. So you can know that in this beam at the bottom portion tension force is acting, and at the top portion compression is acting. That is why this is the basic reason why we provide reinforcement at the bottom maximum, because to resist this kind of tension forces in roof beam. And if the beam is bent hogging wise in this wise, so its vice versa condition appears here. In the top again it will be stressed, that is it will be in tension, and the bottom it will be in compression. This one I have considered any one element. Neutral layer. Let us now know the neutral layer in this beam. Neutral layer is a layer where stresses are zero. Between these two portions, between the top and bottom portion, there is one portion where stresses are zero, and that portion or that layer it is called neutral layer. This is a neutral layer. Here the stresses are zero. So remember, in the neutral axis, in the neutral layer, the stresses are always zero. Let's prove now. Consider this portion A, B, C, D, where EF is the neutral axis and GH is any element which is considered at a distance y from the neutral axis. This condition is before bending, this condition is after bending. There are few assumptions which I have skipped. Let me just say it. The few assumptions are: the first assumption is that the beam is initially straight and every layer of it is free to expand and contract. The second is material is homogeneous and isotropic. Third is Young's modulus is same in tension compression. Fourth is stress are within the elastic limit. Fifth is plane section remains plane even after bending. And the sixth assumption is the radius of curvature is large compared to the depth of beam. These are the few assumptions which you will get in any book. Okay, EF and E dash F dash, these are the neutral axis, and in neutral axis we know there will be no change in strain. So here EF equal to E dash F dash, this will be equal to R phi. What is R? R is the radius of curvature and phi is the angle subtended here. How it becomes R phi? In the class 10 you have known the basic concept theta equals to L by R. From there L will be equal to R theta. So E dash F dash, this is what? This is the arc, length of the arc. So this equal to R into phi from there. G dash H dash, after bending in this layer there will be the strain. So what will be the strain? Let us know. R from there to there R, and from there to G dash H dash, this is R plus Y. So this will be R plus Y into phi. So G dash H dash, this is what? R plus Y into phi. Now what will be the strain in layer GH? This will be this extension minus this one. This is R plus Y into phi minus R phi divided by R phi. When you will solve this, you will get Y by R. When you will solve this, you will get Y by R. Now this is what? This is a strain. Strain equals to Y by R. Everybody you know that Hooke's law. What is Hooke's law? if I consider stress F, so it is directly proportional to strain, and F equals to E into strain. This E is what? Young's modulus. From there what you will get? Strain. From there strain you will get F by E. So we know that strain is equal to stress by Young's modulus. So this is equal to stress by Young's modulus. This is the one equation we have proved. Now the second consider an element of area del A at a distance y from the neutral axis. Here we know that stress we have determined from earlier. From this equation you can find that F equals to E into y by r. So I am writing here E into y by r. Force is what? Force it is stress into area. Area is how much? Del A. So this will be E by r into y del A. Moment, simple concept, moment is force into displacement, so it will be force is how much? E by r y del A into displacement. Displacement it will be how much? It will be y. So this is how much? E by r y square del A. Total moment it will be the summation, or if you do integration, the same thing, E by r y square del A. If I take E by r outside, summation of y square del A. What is summation of y square del A? We know that mr square it is moment of inertia, so it will be E by r into I. So we have got a beautiful equation which is total moment, that is m equals to E by r into I. E by r into I. From there I can determine m by I equals to E by r. Okay, if I combine these two equations, m by I equals to E by r equals to, from there if I find E by r, what it will be? It will be F by y. From there if I find E by r, it will be F by y. This is how much? F by y. So this is the bending equation, m by I equals to E by r equals to F by y, where m is the bending moment, I is the moment of inertia about central axis, F is bending stress, y is the distance of the fiber from neutral axis, E is Young's modulus, and r is the radius of curvature. This bending equation is very important in any competitive exam or in any practical. You will get this equation very useful. From there you can know, or you can determine the unknown values if you are designing any kind of structure.